Today we're going to talk to you about the history of education from 1865 to 1920.
We thought we might first show you guys some pictures of schools in Kentucky in the early 1900s.
Massachusetts in 1852 was the first state to pass compulsory education laws, and by 1900, 31 states joined Massachusetts. By 1930, all states had compulsory education laws. Due to these laws, more and more children attended school. In 1869, roughly 65% of 5 to 17-year-olds attended public school. However, by 1919, attendance jumped to 78%, and it continues to grow today. Between 1880 and 1920, the population of the United States increased by 108%, and school enrollment increased by 1,900%. Schools then looked a lot like schools today, where the state, county, and city superintendents controlled the curriculum of the schools. However, students were taught in a manner closely related to an assembly line found in factories at the time.
Following the Civil War, a new level of education was created, and it was called kindergarten, or garden where children grow. This new concept was influenced by the progressive and humanistic theories that focus on the motor development and self-activity of children. This was achieved through play, games, stories, music, and language activities. Although Marguerite Schurz opened the first kindergarten in 1855, Elizabeth Peabody opened the first private, English-speaking kindergarten in Boston in 1860. The first public kindergarten was established in St. Louis in 1873 by Susan Blow. Susan was so successful in her organization of her program that by 1879 there were 53 kindergarten classes with a total of 131 teachers.
In 1893, the NEA appointed the Committee of 15 to examine the elementary curriculum. In 1895, their study was published, and it called for the introduction of Latin, modern language, and algebra to be included with what was already being taught. Along with these newly included subjects, elementary school continued to include the 5 basic areas of grammar, literature, arithmetic, geography, and history.
In 1892, the NEA appropriated the Committee of 10 to hold conferences that focused on the high school curriculum. This new curriculum included Latin, Greek, English, other modern languages, mathematics, physics, astronomy, chemistry, natural sciences, history, civil government, political science, and geography. The group members decided that the main function of high school was to prepare students for life and stressed the importance of the humanities, languages, and sciences.
In 1913, the NEA appointed the Commission on the Reorganization of Secondary Education to reevaluate secondary schools. The report, which was published in 1918, called for high school curriculum to accommodate individual differences in scholastic ability. This was accomplished by designing 7 educational goals to focus on schooling at all levels. These 7 goals were health, command, fundamental process, worthy home membership, vocation, citizenship, worthy use of leisure time, and ethical character.
Professional organizations began to have great influence on the development of schools. 2 of these organizations are the NEA, founded in 1857, and the American Federation of Teachers, founded in 1916. As we moved into the 20th century, more and more women, due to the women's suffrage movement, started to have influence on school policy, and more women became teachers. Women like Ella Young, Catherine Goggin, and Margaret Haley played important roles in the regulation of Chicago schools in the early 1900s.
After the Civil War and during Reconstruction of the South, approximately 500 schools operated by African American communities for former slaves opened up in the South.
Along with the community-ran schools, Congress established the Freedmen's Bureau to help provide education for former slaves. These schools provided reading, writing, and industrial skills at all times throughout the week.
By 1896, more than 9,500 teachers taught at the Freedmen's School, and when the Bureau ended in 1870, over 4,000 schools had been established. These schools had a total enrollment of 250,000 students.
Thanks for listening to our presentation. Here's a cool picture of medical students practicing on cadavers in the 1870s.